Tammy was out with her team, knew where she was. No problem. I hadn't really heard from her, but I knew exactly what she was doing, where she was. It was like 9:30.
Started at 5:30 at this place.
So I sent her a text. I'm like, okay, just checking to see if you're okay. You know,
This
ABC,
place.
Gibson's or whatever for 4 hours. Are you good? Right. And so she was, you know, just taking some extra time with the team, really. And I was having FOMO.
The moral of the story is it's just let them know where you're at, who you're with. I think the point that I would love to share with everyone is let people know. Let your spouse, let your partner know who you're with, about when you're coming home, and just, you know, that you're having a great time. And then go have that awesome time with your spouse too.
Right.
Because a week later, you and I were out, we're having a great time ourselves, and we go have that good time too. Because I think that's the other piece of this is sometimes we invest more attention and time in new experiences with our friends, because that's what we used to do with our friends, and we keep doing that with our friends. And then we stop doing it with our spouse or with our partner.
Yeah.
Do you
100%.
agree?
100%. But why should you take our advice? Pretty simple. When you go out with the girls or you go out with the boys, how do you want your next day to look? Good day the next day with your spouse? Or do you want to have conflict for the next 2 days until you kind of work it out and they realize that everything was fine? Just to Tammy's point, over communicate.
Mm-hmm.
If things change, let them know. Your spouse should always know who you're with.
For sure.
Always. And when your spouse makes the comment like, hey, I really don't like that group of people from this department at work or whatever, you got to talk that out. There's a reason.
Yes, there is. There is. And, you know, it wasn't a work situation. I'll give you a very real situation. And it was with some golf people. It didn't seem to be the characteristics that I appreciate in another person, right? Like that, kind of like who you would, you know, who are you friends with? And I did not necessarily know all the people in this group. It was just the way that some of them were described. And I thought that was interesting. Wasn't everyone in that group, but there were a few in that group. And it finally got to a point where I shared with Bernie. I said, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really feeling this group with the golf club people.
Right.
And I talked it out. And it wasn't comfortable for me because I didn't want to say I didn't want you playing golf. I remember I was really nervous to bring this up.
Yeah.
And I didn't want you thinking I didn't want you to play golf. It was, this particular group of people weren't who I thought represented you very well. You know, if I had seen them out separately and you weren't with them, is that who I think you are? And it was not aligned with who you were. And so I remember bringing that up, and I was grateful that you listened. And I've had the flip side, right? There was someone in my circle many years ago, and I remember you telling me, like, hey, babe, I don't know.
Right. And I think another good tell is like for my guy friends that I would go out with or have a beer with, okay? If they're married, do we know their spouse? Does Tammy know their spouse? Like, I find it very interesting in guys that I meet that never talk about their wife. The wife's never around. Mm-hmm. Like, it's almost like they're going to work, or they you know, belong to this softball league or this paddle tennis league to escape all that. That's not who I want to be in a relationship with. Hey, I want to have guy time, and I want Tammy to have her girl time, right? But I also want to do that with people that are aligned with their spouse, that are aligned with those priorities, that are aligned with my priorities. Therefore, you really should know the spouse. Like, hey, the guys that I play golf with, we've been trying to reschedule this couples dinner for a couple of years that we had done a couple of years ago. And we got that done a couple of weeks ago. And it was amazing, right? Because I know their wives. Tammy knows their wives, and vice versa. And we're friends in that way too. And that also makes, you know, the nights out before midnight a lot better.
Yes. And the last thought I had, I don't know how to solve this now, but it just made me think, why isn't there a dance club during the day? Could we solve to that? Because you have your golf club during the day. Why can't there be a dance club during the day? I'd still love to dance, but it seems like all dancing starts at like 8 to 10 p.m. And
yeah, unfortunately, honey, I think that's called the senior living community.
oh my,
so we are
honey,
closer than you think.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then we can dance at 4
You know
p.m.
what?
and it's going to be amazing.
Then obviously the generation older than us has it figured out. But again, if we're hitting any of the chords that you are enjoying, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. These are the conversations we have.